Okay, so I'm just gonna start on this. This is what my analysis is of the UCL game between Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid that no one, apparently apart from me and the Dortmund faithfuls, thought Dortmund were gonna go through. But let's just talk about this final. So let's start with the favourites. Past winners, Real Madrid. Royalty of this team, of this whole competition. I don't know what it is exactly these guys do, but they just have juju almost. These are always win absolutely everything. A few issues I think come up for this game. Didn't really watch the last few Real Madrid games, so whether Chouameni is out fully for the game or whether he wasn't picked and was given a bit of a rest, it looks to be Camavinga starting at the CDM position. Obviously, Cruz is going to be dropping in more, but that is a big thing for Madrid in terms of having some strength in that midfield, being very physical. Camavinga is obviously a very technical player, can play 5-6 different positions, and cover the whole pitch himself pretty much. But I just think not having Germany will perhaps cost them if Dortmund decide to go really physical and try to push on them, make him go man for man in their defence and try to work through their athletic ability. Second thing, it's going to be Modric's last game, and as well as on the other side, a few players possibly having their last game. You always think, last game is someone to put on a bit of a show. Obviously, Luka Modric is on his day the best player in the world and has been proving that for years and years. Again, the biggest games, the biggest tournaments for club and country. So even if Real Madrid are winning the game, or even if they're struggling, I see Modric coming on the game and just changing it. Just deciding to go out on his own terms and bring back classic, the Euros, the Ballon d'Or winning Luka Modric. You can change games like that with a snap of their fingers. They've got Courtois back in goal, which would be a strength. But personally, I don't think Courtois should replace Lunin for this game. This sounds really stupid, and many people have told me this. People who have watched Real Madrid. But Courtois hasn't really had that many good games to test himself. I don't know who they faced. I believe they faced Alaves and Real Betis. And I don't think either of those teams scored, or I think Betis obviously fought for Europe. But Alaves, I've never heard of them. They're probably in the bottom half of the table, or if at least on the outskirts of the top 10. Not really a team that should be challenging Real Madrid or having that many shots. The Betis game, I looked at the stats. I think Betis had like 3 shots on target and Courtois saved 2 or 3. So obviously he's top quality. No one doubts that. But Lunin had some very good performances. So obviously I feel like Ancelotti, he's a genius person. He's probably going to manage that correctly. And whether he picks Courtois, whether he picks Lunin, that's going to be the right decision. But if he does pick Courtois, I don't think he will perform to the level that Lunin has. That's not me trying to be outrageous, trying to say like, oh no, Lunin is better. Just that Lunin has performed in this competition and should be rewarded by playing the game. It's not like a pity thing. He's earned his position. Courtois has come back, had a few easy-esque games in quote marks, and is instantly pushed on the Champions Final. Like, Courtois already had his moment in the Champions League. Like, Lunin's probably going to be number 1 in the next few years if Courtois doesn't get fully back up to speed and doesn't, defy, age, doesn't define what the world says about players when they get older, that's the only way he's going to stay in number one. Even if that is the case, in the second half of the season, Lunin's probably going to be put more into games, and Courtois is going to be slowly, moved onto the bench, start playing the lesser games, just drive for fitness, whereas Lunin plays the big games, trying to get him ready to start being the number one. Yeah, that's a big thing. What else I'm trying to think? Tonic Kroos, obviously he's not diving, but he knows Dortmund very well, having played for Bayern Munich. And I just think his style is going to cause them a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. I'm going to talk about him more, but he's definitely a player to watch. Then we've got one of the main men and the focal point of this game from a media standpoint, Mr. Jude Bellingham. Left Dortmund last year and is now facing them in the biggest game of his career as a starter, playing in a position he's never played before and playing better than he ever has. Many say Dortmund were holding him back. As a Dortmund fan, I tell you right now, we did not hold this man back. We were just awful defensively, and Bellingham did a job very, very, very well. As many say, he's like a combination between like a centre mid, a cam, and a CDM, like a 6.5, 8.5, whatever they call it. He can do multiple roles. Obviously, in this game, going back to Dortmund, many be happy to see him, many won't. But ever the model professional, his focus will be on the game. I doubt we're gonna see, any emotions again to his game. Maybe in a challenge he leaves his foot hanging a bit more. Maybe he riles with Dortmund fans. Maybe he celebrates. I don't think we'll ever see any of that. Despite his age, everyone's saying he is very much a model professional and is representing Real Madrid. Probably shouldn't have to resort to things like that, even if emotions do get the better of him. Obviously, the front two in Vinny and Rodrigo have been both very good in this tournament. Rodrigo has maybe phased off a little bit in the last few games, and Vinicius Jr. has definitely stepped up after the Man City game. Obviously had his race against Kyle Walker, had much more success than he did last time he faced the Englishman. I just think that he seems to have reached a level where he's very much confident in himself and knows what to do and how to do it. The ability for Vinicius Jr. has always been there for anybody who watched him when he first came and was starting to get adjusted. I don't think he was liked at the time. I don't know, was it Zidane that really didn't like Vinicius Jr. and actually bought his compatriot on the side of Rodrigo to replace him. And Vinicius probably hasn't been playing that well, but ever since, I actually say, the Shakhtar game a few years ago, you could tell he had the talent but just didn't have the finishing capabilities. He in that game, I remember on the left flank, got the ball and jumped past 3 or 4 players and got away from them into acres of space. But then he crossed it and hit it straight into the side netting. And I remember thinking, he's got what it takes to be a very good one-on-one player and can beat a lot of defenders one-on-one. It's just a final pass, a final shot. If he can do either, not even both, either, he will be a star. Because he can do what it takes to get past players. All he needs to know now is how to get the ball past keeper and into the goal, or past defenders and onto someone else who can score. He can do both now. He's got a very good pass on him. He got a lot of assists this season, and as we know, a very composed finisher. Scored a lot of goals in tense moments. Obviously, the Barcelona game the Champions League games. I don't know if he scored against Girona. I think he might have scored as Atletico. I might be wrong on that. But yeah, he's definitely coming into his own and will be the one to watch. Now we come to BFB, Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, the big talk, Marco Reus's last game for this club. He's leaving after I don't even know how long, but he will be leaving as a hero and will definitely get game time in this game for Julian Brandt or probably for one of the wingers, Diego Sancho. Again, a player who on his day could do almost anything you asked of him, and if not for injuries, we all know could have been, the star of Germany, the star of German football, could have pushed Dortmund onto European success, Bundesliga success, being the guy when it comes to Borussia Dortmund, Germany, and football as a whole. Unfortunately, injuries did stop that, but if he does get a start from this game and Dortmund are within reach, he has the talent that has always been there, and he can change the game from up and play, from a corner, or even from a free kick, like he did it on the weekend. That beautiful free kick where even though the keeper let in, you could tell, he didn't. He definitely hasn't lost the ability. Just maybe the legs and the want to sort of work constantly. You can't blame him. The guy's worked his arse off through injuries. Secondly, we have Jadon Sancho and Ian Maatsen, two of which potentially playing the last Dortmund games. Ian Maatsen obviously been very, very impressive the second half of the season, and Chelsea surprisingly don't want him back. This might change under a new manager. I think Pochettino didn't like him, tried playing him, I believe, right wing or left wing, didn't play him left back. Went to Dortmund, has been starting as left back, has played very, very well. Obviously, that goal against Atletico, that made everyone take notice that this guy coming from Chelsea was going into a Champions League semi-final, and he's now going up against the bona fide best team in the world, and what has been the best team in the world for the last 2 to 3 years in Real Madrid. Won't be his last game, but there's a chance Chelsea and the new manager might take him back, so he might decide to try and do something if this is going to be his last time wearing the black and yellow. And Jadon Sancho, the star boy of Borussia Dortmund, as he used to be and as he still is. Despite what many people think, I do think this will be his last game for Dortmund. I don't think Dortmund are following into the same narrative that he's back. I just think he had a good few games and had the one of a defender whose defending style suited this game. I think he'll probably go back to Manchester United and will probably go on to maybe a European club. I don't know who'll take him, maybe PSG, who knows. Maybe another English club who needs a sort of winger. But again, he can do a lot. Fantastic dribbler. Best one-on-one dribbling in the Champions League this year, I believe. Set the record. And yeah, these two obviously will be looking to change the game in the attack. Now, one thing I did also want to bring up in this Dortmund side is Karim Adeyemi. This will possibly be, quite likely be, Adeyemi's last game for Dortmund, because his performances in the Champions League have been absolutely fantastic. He has been up and down. His work rate has been absolutely fantastic, and he has been giving the runs to every defender. Every defender has been literally crapping themselves seeing this guy come all the way back, get the ball, and then just disappear down the touchline again. Like, he hasn't just run like almost half the pitch to get back, and is now running the entire pitch and going straight back up with the exact same speed and aggressiveness they took the ball off them with. As Hill's signing is probably going to be shortly after this tournament. There is some talks, I believe, of Bayern. Bayern are looking for a left wing, and Adeyemi under Vincent Company, who's likely to take up that role. He does suit that role. As much as I want to say it's not true, Adeyemi in that Bayern front three, or in any front three that has very, very explosive players, would be the pick of the bunch and could absolutely destroy defences, as he has been for Dortmund. We've also got Nicholas Füllkrug, who has definitely shown that he can be a top level striker in the Champions League. Very interesting matchup for him in this match, where he comes against Antonio Rudiger, one of his colleagues and teammates for the German national team. Probably knows her quite a lot, probably trained together. Don't know if they're friends, but they definitely are aware of each other through their time, and it would be an interesting matchup for him. You know, Dortmund are going to have as much of the ball as they would like, so chances for him are going to come, very rarely. And unlike other opposition, the back two of Rudiger and Militao can definitely look to get the ball. One sure thing, I have put Militao in this because even though he's just come back from injury, the difference between him and Nacho I think is ridiculous. And I don't think Nacho will probably play in this game just because Militao offers that extra bit of like defensive strength and pace. When I've been dealing with Adeyemi and Sancho and Marlon off the bench and Mokoko off the bench, and maybe even Jerry and Barnagent off the bench, who need speed. Carvajal, great defender, but has lost a couple of seconds over the years. Federico Valverde, very, very fast, but again, further up. Mendy, quick, but I think can't really defend as well as he can attack. Militao probably will play this game. Nacho, again, captain, he's been fantastic, but I just think maybe this is a decision Ancelotti should make for the better of the team. Again, Nacho plays, I fully understand, but I would expect Ancelotti to put the Brazilian over the captain in this game and make Carvajal the one who wears the armband. So with that, let's go to the matchups that I believe are going to define this game. Starting off, the first one, Vinicius Jr. versus Mats Hummels. The matchup I believe every single person will be looking for. Hummels dealt very well with Mbappe, with the help of Ryerson, Sabitzer and the entire Dortmund side. But it'll be interesting how he deals with Vinicius Jr. On the other side, Rodrigo versus Schlotterbeck. I believe this will be a much better duel because Schlotterbeck is known for making mistakes, and Rodrigo has been under the radar this season with his performances, but has scored important goals and has played really well and is known for being a big game player for Madrid. A player who definitely shines brightest in the big games alongside Vinicius Jr. I expect these two to be giving their Dortmund back to a lot of runs in behind, a lot of trouble. Bellingham, I think maybe he'll go for Chan. Sabitzer a bit more aggressive, attacking minded, knows how he can sort of deal with him and usher him out. Whereas Chan, good defender, but doesn't have much pace. Bellingham, his movement past the ball, move across, drag Chan out of space, and leave that giant gap for Valverde, for Camavinga, for Rodrigo, or for Vinicius Jr. to sprint into and look to get out to the end of any balls being whipped in from the wide areas or being played in. We've also got Fulkrug versus Rudiger, as I said, two very physical players who are going to fight for every single ball that gets lobbed to Nicholas Fulkrug. I don't know if Dortmund will play that, but it has been extremely successful in the Champions League. I don't know what his record of winning area challenges is. I think he's got like 95%. I think it's like 15, 16 duels. Excuse me. Fulkrug has had like 15, 16 duels against PSG, Atletico, and in the group stages, and has already lost one of them. With Rudiger, that ain't the case. Rudiger, as we know, is very, very strong. Like, he did not have problem with Haaland. Haaland is, I believe, a lot stronger than Fulkrug and a lot more threatening in his athleticism. And Rudiger dealt with him very, very easily. So what Fulkrug will do in this match, I don't know. But you never know in the Champions League. As we saw in the Europa League, where Leverkusen, an unbeaten, invincible team, got absolutely torn apart by Atalanta, battered from pillar to post from the start to the end, and for Adamo Lukman, a guy who struggled playing at Leicester or struggled playing at RB Leipzig, scored an amazing hat trick. Sometimes the biggest lights can make out the best in players. I believe Nicholas Fulkrug can definitely score in this game and might establish himself as one of the best strikers on this planet and might bring the game way closer than many are expecting it to be. On the Dortmund side, obviously you've got Sancho and Adeyemi versus Carvajal and Mendy. Adeyemi versus Carvajal, I expect that to be a tough battle for Adeyemi, because Carvajal has shown that he is able to deal with players with pace quite easily. You know, doesn't really struggle that much. You know, against Man City, he dealt with Jeremy Doku ridiculously easily. But when Grealish came on, you could tell he was struggling a little bit more because he was tired, and also Grealish isn't that fast that much. And modern defenders, they struggle to deal with technical dribblers. Because technical dribblers, they don't need to send you every which way. They just need to wait on the ball. They don't need to sprint. They can walk and humiliate you with whatever scores they can put out the bag. And obviously, Adeyemi isn't that sort of player. Sancho, obviously, maybe. The Dortmund manager will decide to switch it. You know, Terzic has been a brilliant manager for Dortmund and has often made the right decision for the club. You know, last time, so close to the Bundesliga, now Champions League final. You know, he's completely changed the club. And I believe that he will do what it takes to win this match. And one of those changes might be Sancho on this left hand side and Adeyemi on this right hand side. I think the combo of Adeyemi and Ryerson of straight pace and aggressiveness. Obviously, Ryerson, a very physical fullback. You know, we saw him against Mbappe really like getting in, pushing, not really trying to dribble, but sort of like pushing, being very aggressive. You know, trying to push him out, not really giving him that much space, not really worrying about getting past. You know, just using his speed and his size. No, I don't think he's that tall. I think he's like 5'9", but just get moving into him, just using his athleticism to defend. Obviously, Adeyemi as well. You know, that's been a notable point. His work rate, you know, helping Weiser out. I also think defensively, this will be a big thing to help with this two of Mendy and Vinny, because Ancelotti will just drop Kroos in here, and then Mendy and Carvajal will join the attack and look to get on the outside. You know, Adeyemi can just go here, over there and work very, very, very hard to stop anything coming through this channel right here. And then once he gets the ball, or if he gets the ball, he is gone. See you later. It's up to Courtois, and it's up to this back two to decide how they're going to deal with him. Because nobody in this midfield has the pace to catch up with Karim Adeyemi. And on the left hand side, we got the more technical players. Ian Matson, who can spot a pass from almost anywhere and deliver extremely on the dot. He has been so good in the attacking portion of the game in this second half. You definitely think Terzic is going to ask him to go a bit more forward. Obviously, you'd want Adeyemi here helping out. But Carvajal, it seems rude to say, isn't as much attacking threat as Mendy. Carvajal's a traditional defender, so he will go forward very much with the idea that he needs to be able to go back. As much as Rudiger might and just start here, this is how they might defend. And they might attack like this. With Bellingham playing up here. These two spreading the pitch. Like that. Carvajal isn't probably going to go this far. Mendy definitely will. We see Mendy in a position like this. We'll get the ball and just try to zip it across here. Try to put in the back post. Maybe looking for Carvajal to come across. Or maybe looking for Rodrigo to make that run across. And try to tap it and put it into the goal. It would be a challenge, definitely. Of course, it's going to be a challenge against this Real Madrid side, who haven't really seemed in that much trouble at all. I think only against Man City, and where Man City right now, they've just lost Manchester United. This Real Madrid side has won La Liga and is looking for the double. Again, Dortmund, I want anything. This to be one trophy. Again, it's not a trophy they're going to complain about winning. But all their dreams and aspirations on this. Real Madrid know how to win this tournament. Dortmund have won in years. That is because of players like Carvajal, players like, Cruz, who know. Carvajal isn't going to make the constant risk. Because if Adeyemi does play on the left-hand side, as soon as he goes and there's an inkling that Madrid have lost the ball, he's going to have to hustle back as quickly as possible. Because if there's even a chance that Adeyemi can get the ball in this area, I'll just highlight quickly. If he can get the ball in this area, let's say maybe even Terzic will have Sancho and Adeyemi switch wings. If he can find the ball, if Kerbal gets the ball, or Hummels even, or Schlabbeck, they've had fantastic distribution. In fact, all of the back four pretty much can get the ball and fire it into this space. If Carvajal is here, he is screwed. Even if he's here, he's screwed. No offense to him, but Karim Adeyemi is lightning quick, and Sancho is a fantastic one-on-one dribbler. Carvajal can do this as much as he wants. Sancho will just drive in here, and Adeyemi would just say bye-bye and just disappear and just get here within a number of seconds and will threaten the goal. As good as Courtois is, I don't think he can stop that consistently. Obviously, he didn't get Liverpool, but that was a Courtois coming off an injury. This is a Courtois that is coming off an injury, hasn't played. Has only played a few games where he hasn't really been tested that much. A mistake might happen. You never know. We saw Manuel Neuer have an amazing game. What happened? He made a mistake. That could happen. This defense wants to help him out as much as possible. the Champions League final, then one thing you don't want is chances against your box. Because games like this, a deflections are gonna come. The ball is gonna fly in the way. It's not meant to. A player might strike it harder than they should. Or maybe they hit it in an angle that no one saw coming. That will happen. It's the magic of the Champions League, where if someone tries something, a lot of the time it will come off. Some of the craziest goals you've ever seen have been scored in the Champions League. Dortmund have the players to do that. So I don't think that Carvajal is going to make that sort of run. I saw it up to Mendy. That's why I think this battle here, let's just switch these two back, is going to be so much more interesting. Sancho versus Mendy. We all know what Sancho's going to do. Sancho's going to get the ball here and just look to drag Mendy in and just try to drag him every which way. You know, come here. Might taunt Mendy. Mendy might come flying in. And who knows? Sancho might go this way. Come across. And look for the ball across into the box. Or might go this way. And then he's got the entire box to work with. And might have players coming in. And can maybe flick it. Drag it. And try to create chances. Or might have a go himself. They can't let that happen. Real Madrid. Too smart. But Mendy isn't a defensive mind playing. He's attacking. The best form of defense is attack. So what is Mendy gonna do? Or what should Mendy do? Well, do that. Just constantly get the ball and just run and run and run. Even if he struggles, maybe even getting the ball and just driving into the midfield just to relieve that pressure. Pass it off to Bellingham or to Camavinga, and then keep making that run into the Dortmund half and look to get onto the ball and look to maybe knock a header or knock a ball on back for someone to try to finish. This battle is going to be so interesting because for all you know, Mendy might even play. This guy might play. Fran Garcia, who I've not really seen that much, but has definitely been playing more this season. I think he's a new signing, but you know, maybe he is maybe a more defensive fullback and might try and stick with Sancho and let everyone else do the attacking work. You know, maybe Camavinga goes off with Brahim and someone does something else. But I just think if Mendy does play, that's going to be such an interesting battle. Madsen versus Carvalho, obviously. Ryerson versus Mendy. But one battle that might shock a lot of people is the battle between these two men, Madsen and Valverde. Two players that have the ability to just take games by the scruff of their neck and do something no one expected them to do. Two players with a lot more in the toolbox than anyone thought was possible. Obviously, Valverde likes to get into this sort of area, and we all know he has an ability to strike the ball deadly even from this sort of area on the halfway line. You know, you can't let him have the ball even a second, because for all you know, it's just going to go whoop and just smash the bar or smash the post I might send the Real fans into jubilation as it shakes the net and absolutely rattles Dortmund. Matson, of course, has the ability on the inside and the outside to create chances, great distribution, great crossing ability, and more recently, an ability to get the ball here, go 1v1, in or out, gets the ball into the area, and is able to just make use of the situation and just fire it into the net. May seem a bit confusing, but I just think these two are going to be firing shots back and forth each other. Valverde will have a go, and then Matson will have a go. And this will keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Especially if Adeyemi is on the left hand side, because Adeyemi can deal with Carvajal and vice versa. And what's next? Talk about each team's strong points going into this game. Again, let's start with Real Madrid. Obviously, one thing they're going to do in this game against Dortmund is control the ball. Dortmund have never really been a team that controls the ball. I don't even think in the Dortmund days of Klopp and Lewandowski, Royce, and that team that they had the ball that much. You know, obviously counter-pressing, playing high, and looking to just squeeze opponents. Whereas a team like Real play with the belief that they will have the ball and they will create the majority of chances. You know, I expect most of the time for the ball to just be played in this sort of triangle between Rudiger, Valverde, and Cruz. Because as soon as someone comes to try and press, someone's going to make that run in behind. You know, try to press in and then disappear down the line and play that pass in behind. You know, Cruz has ability, Valverde has the ability, and Rudiger definitely has the ability. Despite many people think great passing range from Rudiger here. You know, especially that ball across the line where he gets it like there, and then Carvajal can take the ball, just drive in there and look for maybe the run of Rodrigo in that gap. We've seen that a lot. This sort of run, Rodrigo here, who just makes some magic and tries to find a way through the defense. Second thing of use to Real Madrid that they'll definitely have over this Dortmund side is the ability to attack from deep. For those who do not know what I'm talking about, let me reintroduce you to the passing master known as Toni Kroos. In many Champions League games, and I think in Man City as well, perhaps. I'm not sure if he did, or maybe it's another game, maybe against Bayern, where he got the ball from here. Obviously, the fullbacks go forward, everyone goes forward, and the pressing was very sort of a bit, you know. No, it was against Bayern. Yeah, it was against Bayern, I think. But Bayern, I think, pressing high, and Neuer was maybe standing a bit, you know, too much on his line, and the ball was here, I think, and then like I don't know, maybe he's met this, and Kroos just fired the ball from here into there, and Vinny managed to get on it, and then he was just coming out too late, and Vinny finished it. That's what Kroos has been doing the entire season, and he's not going to stop doing it now, especially not against a team that can mess up as much as Dortmund. Dortmund have had some calamitous results over the last year or so, losing on the final day of the Bundesliga. You know, in the manner that they did. Recently losing to Mainz, coming fifth in a league where they're expected to be challenging every single year is appalling. That's on the levels of what Manchester United are doing in the Premier League this season. You expect Dortmund to be doing better, but the defense has cost them a lot. So you definitely see Kroos being given more responsibility by Ancelotti to fire those sort of balls into these areas in behind where he can find his runners. And particularly, as I just explained, that one ball straight through. Dortmund won't be in their block. They can't afford Real Madrid that much time on the ball. So while Kroos might, play to Mendy, play to Carvajal, to Rodrigo, or to Vinny, this is going to be the killer pass. This is going to be the pass that Kroos is going to try constantly. Through here, Vinny or Rodrigo get on the ball, and you don't take a touch, just smash it from there. Because nobody's in reacting time. Hummels ain't got the pace. Chan and Sabitzer probably won't be that far, that close to do anything. And Schlotterbeck, knowing him, probably just slide, make a space, and then they'll just run through. And then it'll be way worse. And it's probably just finish it here. Or, no one Gregor Colwell, he'll probably have to make like 10 or 12 ridiculous saves to pull Dortmund out of the guard they keep trying to put themselves into and close the grate back on themselves. But yeah, Toni Kroos will definitely be, I think, one of his key players in this game. Obviously, he allows the defense to get a bit wider and for, much more attacking presence in the opposition's half. They might just line up like this, I think, with Kroos just sort of running into, they're not really running, but strolling into the space, just looking for any movements inwards making and any passes he can find. Maybe to be a simple one to Valverde, where you can turn him into the space, or might just bang it all the way here in between Schrabeck and Matson for Rodrigo to just take it, run, and just go bang. So that's probably number one threat for Real Madrid in this game. If it's not, what will definitely be number one is the counter-attack. Real Madrid are going to lose the ball, and Dortmund's counter-attack in their own right is devastating. With Adeyemi alone, he can rip teams apart even just on his own. Last season against Chelsea, the ball, he got a halfway line, ran and finished it, and that was the game. I don't know if Dortmund won a game. I think maybe they did. They drew, but that was the only chance Dortmund had in that game. And Adeyemi finished it. That was counter attack. That was one player, and the chance for Chelsea was gone like that. Adeyemi had already gone. No one was gonna catch up. But sorry about this. I'm just trying to position Dortmund into the position they'd be if they had control of the ball. I'm guessing, Terzic just want to not go too far up because Vinny and Rodrigo love making these sort of runs. That if you watched the FA Cup final that Garnacho and Rashford are making, they were timing the runs just perfectly to when the ball came over. They'd be here in lots of space and use their pace to exploit the gap in behind and try to score past the keeper. So they're probably going to keep it something like this. Obviously with someone marking Bellingham, maybe Ryerson is sticking in and Matson sticking in to maybe push or encourage this sort of wide run from Rodrigo and from Vinny, keeping them further from the goal. But yeah, let's just say, I don't know, the Real Madrid are in their own half and they've just won back the ball. Idea may probably be there. Sancho there. Fulkrug maybe here his backs off quite quickly. He doesn't really press that much. Brandt, I think he jumps off to the left. And then Channon's Habitzer here. With Hummels and Schlabberg, Matson obviously a bit further forward. Wyson sticking with to make a kind of nice little back three. As soon as Dortmund lose the ball to anybody, Volker might get the ball and shoot it, and it might hit Courtois. Even if they're like this, which is somewhat a defensively solid position, Real Madrid are just gonna torture them every single time they try it. Because what can Courtois do? Get the ball, maybe throw out to Carvajal or Mendy, I might just kick it out to Bellingham. But let's just say he does this, kick to Carvajal, Rodrigo maybe, and then Valverde, and then Bellingham, and then Vinny looking to get in behind. Carvajal finds Rodrigo. Matson obviously not going to go in. Rodrigo, then Valverde looking at another one behind. Dortmund trying to be careful, but don't really know how to deal with the pressure that Madrid can offer. Valverde goes in behind. Schlabberg tries to come back. Matson tries to come back. Valverde feeds it back to Rodrigo. And then you got Vinny and Bellingham and Mendy on the outside. Camavinga. And then you've got like, just let me show you here. You've got a 3v2 counter attack 5 or 6 seconds later, and Dortmund are now being caught, outnumbered. In comes the ball that probably played to Vinny, who's gonna find it, cut inside, and probably do the Mbappe finish, fire it into the left, and that's 1-0 Madrid. Simple as. Even the left hand side might find Mendy. Mendy finds it to Vinny. Vinny gives it back to Mendy. Mendy goes all the way back here. You know, despite whatever defending Dortmund might have, whatever block they might keep, it's just going to be Mendy cross, and then Rodrigo, Valverde, Vinny, then Bellingham in here, and then ball up, probably to Bellingham, who's in the head it and score. Real Madrid are too good to not take advantage of that. They have, and they will, against any opponent they come up against. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks they can do or how a team thinks they can defend. This team will destroy you. And Dortmund, they weren't even in the conversation, but it's not even a doubt that they're going to destroy this Dortmund team if they lose the ball and not prepared in their block. Speaking of, let's talk about Dortmund's block. What I like to call predicting the V. Nice little message. Oh, not a message, sorry. It was explained by Sean Deitch. What a block does is essentially is it protects this area of the goal. So Dortmund will probably line up in a way that's keeping this solid and keeping their wide players ready to jump out, and then maybe Sabitzer will come in, might cover that gap, and just sort of weave across, keeping that line intact with Füllkrug ready here to get the ball. Real Madrid, like I said, very good, but many teams struggled against his block. A team with Mbappe in, and Barcola, and Colomwani, who dealt very, very well with the Barcelona team and the defending they were doing. This is a different level of defending from Terzic and Dortmund. He's got a good defense structure. Probably just going to keep him in this line the entire first half. Because if I'm to kick off, they're going to be finding shots at Kerbal all night long. All night long. I'd give anyone money in the comments if they think that there's going to be less than 15 shots against Kerbal in the first half. Dortmund probably might win that first half. Might be going through 1-0 or even 2-0. But Real Madrid will dominate the game, have more shots and most corners. Probably give away most fouls as well, because of the counter and foul, then get the ball back, and then rinse and repeat. But yeah, this block, there's not really any gap through it and any gap. Hummels and Schlabbeck might make a few mistakes, but even they know how to stick the foot out and just keep anyone from really keeping the ball and trying to work through any sort of gap that's provided. And obviously 2v1s in every area. With full crew here to get the ball in the clearance, hold it up, and aid the counter attack that can lead to Dortmund springing, surprise. Not springing surprise, just countering and scoring. The defensive work rate as well is also something we have to talk about this Dortmund side, because Turgis has got these guys playing such an aggressive team game. Like, if Vinny has the ball here, even with Sancho on this team, who has been known, or this has been said, has a horrible work rate, Sancho will be here. Sancho will be here helping Ryerson out. If Ryerson goes out, Sancho or Sabitzer will step in. But Sancho will try to keep this inside locked. Demi, of course, will follow someone outside probably, because Matson and Schlabber cover the inside. 1v1 can deal with the outside very well. So if anybody tries to getting down this side, a bit of trouble. We then got Schlabber and Hummels. Amazing work rates. Will work and will put a fire in their belly every single time there's even a sniff that they might be working any harder than they feel they should be. They don't really care. They will work their asses off and they will do whatever they can to keep the ball away from their goal. And it has worked a pleasure, and it's the main reason why they're in this final, and it might be the reason why they win this final. Set pieces. What might be the undoing of Real Madrid? As good as Real Madrid think they are, there's no real answer for a top quality ball into the box from a corner or from a free kick. There is nothing you can do. As Dortmund have proven, they can score set pieces in the tournament. They scored in the last 3 games. Hummels, of course, scored I think at home and away. Man of match in both games. Sorry about that, as much here. And the quality as well. You got Matson, you got Brian, got Sancho, all capable of playing those crosses. Obviously, we know what Dortmund do with the chance they have. Hang it towards the back post, and Hummels heads it or knocks it on. Look for someone else to get on the end of it. For kicks as well, especially from this side, with Sancho and with Brandt able to deliver like clean, very very clean balls in behind that just need a tap to get past any keeper. Again, just that ball in behind. Someone gets to it, crosses it back in, and then bang, goal. It's very simple, very effective. Oh shit, I can't do this, man. I sound so awkward. I can't speak, and I'm just I might as well upload this, man, but there's not much I can do. I might just run through the checklist. I've got Ross, Adiemi, and Sancho. Obviously, these two will be the issue for Real Madrid. Two unpredictable players who can come back, get the ball off, work it in the area, or just take it and shoot. Sancho, obviously, a dribbler, can play any 1v1. And Adiemi, a player who can burn anybody 1-for-1. Carvajal, I wish him the best in this game because my word is Adiemi gonna give him the bloody runabout. You know, Carvajal's gonna probably be just sitting here. Just let Adiemi run. Tell him you can run here as much as you want. I'm not gonna break my leg running back and forth, hustling, whilst you just bring past me and not even breathing any bit like heavier. It's like you out for a stroll, and I'm out here busting my ass trying to get towards you. And by the time I do, you're gonna come back and make me humiliate myself by putting me on my ass. That's the idea I can do. Sancho, of course, takes the ball, does a bit of tricks, gets through, and then just fires the ball into this area before we could tap in. That's pretty much it. What else? Each team's weak points. Simple. Real Madrid's weak point is playing teams that can dominate the ball. Dortmund ain't gonna offer that issue. Set pieces, I think, will be the issue, and the counter attack will be an issue. Dortmund's weak points, obviously, the defense, the lack of real quality in the center of midfield, as well as Shannon, Sabitzer. Neither one of them can provide that attacking edge. You know, that might be needed, that extra player. Obviously, they've got Nemecha on the bench who can do that, but isn't really that good. You know, many double fans have been saying they should get rid of him. You know, what a waste of money they spent bringing him in. You know, all he can do is really shoot the ball. And that's pretty much it. He can't do that. Just for his brother. But yeah, there's that. And then what's next? What will change the game for either team? One, for Real Madrid, it's going to be Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Bellingham finding themselves in this position here, where they've scored so many goals of Bellingham moving, creating the space, Rodrigo and Vinny getting in behind, working it back, and then the finish. Or Bellingham doing like a good job in bringing it back, finding one of these two, and then one of these two just rocketing it into the back of the net, or just calmly putting it back corner. Dortmund, it will be Adeyemi and Sancho getting in behind Valverde, not so Carvajal and Mendy. Basically, these are the danger areas for Real Madrid in red, and the danger areas are in blue. Oh, for Dortmund. I'm being serious there, by the way. Also here. That's alright. Let me just drag this out and not right there. Actually, yeah, this little square doesn't really work as much. But let me just try to do it quickly. This little square here, sorry, is where Fulkrug try to get on the ball, push. Not Camavinga. Sorry, where the hell is Rudy? Why is Rudy doing all the way up? I know he's a very attacking player, but even still, he really shouldn't be that high up. But yeah, this is what basically it'll be. These three versus front four with Bryant just moving in between, look for the ball, and Sabitzer and Chamberlain's late runs to protect the ball from the edge of the box. Both can definitely find the goal from the edge of the box. Dortmund should definitely look for long range shots in this game. You know, Real Madrid will probably offer them space. We'll try to press out, obviously. Real Madrid don't really seem that sort of team unless against Man City to sit back and let teams just pass through them. They seem like they'll have a good block, and as soon as you keep the ball in the middle, on you like a bee is on honey. They'll just attack the ball till they get off you, or you give it away. So, you know, might be a bit an issue, but if Van can make that space work, Adeyemi and Sancho can keep Mendy and Mendy and Carvajal in the area, and Fuku can keep at least Militao pinned. It'd be great if he can keep Rudiger pinned, and then this sort of space in behind for one of these three to get the ball and just go bang. Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Zinedine, not really like a Roberto Carlos-esque out of the box, just bang. Even if they don't score, just having a shot here makes it now that Real Madrid have to come out and press and leave that space in behind to score, meaning that if they can get a shot off and maybe even just come past the post, Ancelotti, even though he probably doesn't have to do much, will hint that maybe they should come out a bit more and create that space in behind for players to get into. That's about it, I guess. My predictions for the game, I'm gonna say it's gonna be 2-1 Dortmund next time. The Dortmund score first in like the first 5 minutes from Sancho and Adiemi, you know, getting in behind the defenders, whipping it in, and Fulkrug or Brandt getting a touch on it and sending it near post. One of them will get in between Rudiger and Militao or Nacho. I'll put it into the near post. I think that's gonna happen within the first 5-10 minutes, and then Real Madrid's goal will probably be in, like, let's say the start of the second half, 50th, 60th minute. Probably gonna be Bellingham, you know, in this area, not really being pressed, having a shot and scoring, or Camavinga. I think he'll be one of these central players. Actually, not Valverde. I think Valverde or Bellingham get in the space, the block gives them the space, and they just go bang and just batter that ball into the goal. Then I think some extra time, and let me say about the 106th, 7th minute, corner, whip it in, and who's there but Matt Hummels again to head into the back of the net. 2-1. Extra time goes by, we just have a lot of chances. Dortmund have some chances. Maybe a red card, maybe a yellow card. I think a red card for Dortmund would probably be Adiemi, and one for Real Madrid would probably be Bellingham. I think Bellingham might get a red card in this game. Even though I said previously he might analyze emotions, I think he might, you know, give too much and might play TLOs, or might say something to referee accidentally. You know, he doesn't have the best record referees, especially now in Germany. I don't know if it's German ref, but you know, sometimes he can say stuff about referees might get him yellow carded. And then, you know, 2-1, Dortmund lift the trophy, and Royce gets to tie in peace. That'll be no Real Madrid. So it's going to be a Dortmund win, really hard fought, or Real Madrid just batter Dortmund. That's my analysis of the game. Sorry for constantly nattering on, but yeah, that's pretty much it.